All right, great. Yeah, well, it's great to have Nikki Robinson visiting
From Miami.
from Miami,
Yes.
Florida. And we got some great wines here.
We have the Kwaya Sangiovese. That's the Merlot and the Chardonnay. What is the first process of taking the wine from the tank into the bottle? And the whole layout as far as what comes first. You put the bottle on the conveyor, and then the labels go on, and
Yeah, so you start with the empty bottle,
Okay.
and then typically in the whole wine industry, you then flush that bottle with nitrogen, which is an inert gas. It's the same way they package potato chips and nuts. You pack it in a non-oxygen environment, and then that preserves the flavor of the wine. So one thing unique about this bottling line is it's the lowest oxygen bottling line you'll find anywhere, because you have complete nitrogen flushing to get rid of all the oxygen out of the bottle. And then before the cork even goes in, you pull a vacuum, so that gets rid of the oxygen there. So when you make wine without sulfur dioxide, it's important to do what's called zero oxygen bottling. So this line is very advanced and does that.
now that's great information. What is the process of bottling it, and how it's processed to make it into an organic wine?
Yeah, so it's very similar to the beer industry. In the beer industry, everybody does what's called essentially zero oxygen bottling. So the wine industry can easily adapt that. Everybody in the wine industry could make non-sulfide wines if they wanted to, because that same equipment already exists in the beer industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say to a consumer no sulfites added, how does that process goes into place?
So no sulfites added. Most wineries, what they do is they'll do it a few different ways. Right when the grapes come in, they'll dump sulfur right into the crusher, right when they're making the grapes, or right into the juice. They add what's called sulfur salts. And as they disintegrate in the liquid, the sulfur gas will come out. What that does, that kills everything in the juice. So that's sort of what you call industrial winemaking,
Okay.
where you're adding this
Right.
right when the fresh fruit comes in. But the problem is, when you add that sulfur gas, you have to basically have a moon suit on. It's a more dangerous working environment.
Okay.
Another thing it's important to point out, most of the 8,000 plus history of winemaking, eventually it'll probably be a 10,000 year history. But right now there's a proven 8,000 year history of winemaking, and most of that 8,000 year history, wine was made from organically grown grapes, of
Okay.
course, and no sulfur dioxide added or no sulfites added.
Okay.
So what's interesting is what we're doing is just a proud 8,000 year history of winemaking. So
Brought up to the modern standard codes, right?
yeah. So the so-called sulfited industrial winemaking is actually relatively new, only about 100 plus years old, where you were taking measured amounts of sulfur dioxide and measuring that in a laboratory and then adding exact doses.
Okay.
First mention of sulfur dioxide at all in any winemaking was 1449, Germany.
So when I'm speaking to consumers about the wines, they're also concerned to know that the wine Kwaya is also a vegan wine. And when that wine is produced in a stainless steel barrel or tank, the oak barrels, are they treated with any type of animal parts or anything like that?
Well, in a lot of modern winemaking, whether it's stainless steel or barrel, people do use animal products. We don't here at Fry Vineyards because it's unnecessary. But some people are still using sort of older methods where they use either byproducts of fish or byproduct of cow and other animal products.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, that's the first morning session. I just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for working with us to produce such a great selection for consumers to consume, and being one of the first certified organic wineries here in the United States is an amazing association that I am proud to be a part of. And I want to thank you guys very
yeah,
much.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming up with the idea, and we look forward to a bigger organic future.
Yeah.